Shalom, shalom. Welcome back to the Set Apart Man channel. Man, the channel where we teach men how to live set apart, how to be more obedient to the word of the Most High Yahweh, and how to navigate this wicked world according to righteousness. You know, man, a lot of people make the mistake and assume or think that because the way that I speak and I reference biblical things, you know, they assume and think that I am a Christian as a man. And I'll tell you, you can get that out of your head. I don't affiliate. I don't associate. I don't claim the title of being anything a part of the religion of Christianity, Christendom, or i.e. a Christian. What I am is a man that fears the Most High Yahweh. That's his name. Not only do I fear the Most High Yahweh, but I'm a man that promotes and encourages others to keep the commandments of the Most High Yahweh. Thirdly, man, I'm a follower of Yahshua HaMashiach, of the book. I'm not a follower of who they call JC, by way of picture of Caesar Borgia. There's a reason I'm saying this first and foremost because, man, there's a big difference between a set-apart man who is righteous and a man who deceives himself into thinking he's set apart, but he is religious. Man, today I want to tell the set-apart men why set-apart men should avoid modern Christian women. And I'm gonna give you a prime example. I'm gonna bring receipts of why men should avoid modern Christian women. Let's talk about it.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave like everyone else. You were born into bondage. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
All praise to the Most High Yahweh Shalom. Thank you for tuning in to another righteous, Ruach, spirit-filled episode of the Set Apart Man. Once again, I'm back at it in them trenches, handling that kingdom business. Man, I want every man out there watching this, before I dive into this one and unpack this one, man, I want every man out there to smash that like button. I'm about to crack the code to get you to understand why a lot of these, you know, women out here claim to have a relationship with God. But the truth of the matter is, man, through their actions, through their lifestyle, through their choices, you can see that they serve every other god or deity or idol instead of the Most High Yahweh. Smash that like button. Doesn't cost you anything. Quit being cheap. Helps this video get ahead in the algorithm for men that need to hear this. You know, secondly, man, subscribe to the Set Apart Man YouTube channel. Turn your notifications on. That way you don't miss a single video. You know, thirdly, drop down in the comments and let me know, answering this question, why do you think we're in a time where we have so many women who live rebellious lives, who live contrary to the word of the Most High Yah, who are defiant and reject the word of the Most High Yah, but they run and claim this title of Christian? I'm a Christian woman. I believe in JC, Caesar Borgia. The law is done away with. Let me know down in the comments why you think that is. Man, let's start the dialogue because, once again, this is the Set Apart Man, and Set Apart Man must have understanding. So in this video, man, I'm gonna break this down for you. Man, we have a woman who calls herself referencing the word of the Most High Yah, speaks about who she calls God, never calls him by name, who she calls God, but she's referencing the Most High Yahweh, constantly giving relationship advice, constantly giving marriage advice to men and women. Man, give a slow clap for Dr. I don't know what she's a doctor of, Cheyenne Bryant. Because when we look biblically, man, there's good and evil. And this is a case of a doctor who is working evil. And her choices are going to reveal it. Now, not only is this a woman who tries to use success to make it look like, she has reserved herself like that's some virgin thought pocket. No, it ain't no virgin thought pocket. Some men have been up and through there, and she's at the end of the road. So she's out here trying to catch or ensnare whoever she can. Now, man, the book of Proverbs talks about a woman dressed like a harlot, dressed in the clothing of a prostitute. You win the Dress Like a Prostitute award, but call yourself a Christian. Man, she shows up to some event with young Jeezy and a photo, and having no virtue to offer, what does she do? She does the number one go-to play for the forbidden woman is to promote herself sexually. Men, let me give you a cheat code. Man, I'm gonna drop a video, and I might call it 100 biblical warnings about the wickedness of women. I might title it something like that. So be on the lookout for that. Go check out some of my other content too, because man, there are far more biblical warnings to men about women than there are warning women about men. And one of the biggest decisions, weightiest decisions a man will make in his life is his selection of women. Man, she shows up in something that should be reserved. You want to do a little something extra for your husband. But so many of these modern Christian women are trying to turn slut, whoredoms, harlotry, prostitution, showing they thought pocket in public. They're trying to turn this stuff classy. Classic Jezebel and Delilah move. Now, a man that's not set apart, that don't have understanding, he'll think a woman like Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is giving him some time. And this is the reason why she targets, successful, high-earning men. She's going to bring a man down. If a man goes and hitches himself, according to his flesh, allowing his flesh to be attracted and take a woman like Dr. Cheyenne Bryant as a wife, she's going to bring a man down. I guarantee you. Men, man, you better proceed with caution. There's plenty when you can throw a rock, hit a woman like that calls herself a Christian, a devout Christian, churchgoer, and what is she gonna be wearing? She'll wear hooker heels to the church. She'll have a skirt on that's borderline, got her butt cheeks out, talking about she's worshiping. Man, these women are loaded with other ruachs, other spirits, except a righteous one. This is why we have so many women that are claiming to be OnlyFans models and Christians. You getting dug out on OnlyFans and you talking about I'm a Christian? I can't make this stuff up. Men, I'm telling you. See, man, once you have understanding, man, I want all men out there to go read, type into Google, the Testament of Reuben, chapter 2. And you need to look for the website that says a sacred text, and it's going to pull it up and you can read it for yourself. And it tells you about how men fall at the hands of a woman's beauty, how men are ensnared by a woman who promotes herself sexually and provocatively. Now, all she did by showing up there butt naked, it was, when you think about the word modesty, a woman who claims to have wisdom, but biblically there's 4 kinds of wisdom. You know, there is earthly wisdom, there's sensual wisdom, there's devilish wisdom, and then there's divine wisdom. A lot of these Christian women are operating in the first 3. They're not operating in divine wisdom that is from above, and you can see it in their decisions, you can see it in their actions. They're not operating like that. You know, here's the thing, man. A lot of these women will deceive men by claiming that title of Christian. You know, but when you think about what that religion stands for, it's a follower of JC, okay? JC is not a entirety of a first and a last name. You know, when you look at the word Jesus, the transliteration is Iesus. And part of that is tied back to Zeus. It is a bad transliteration. Doesn't hold up to transliteration principles. Okay? When you think about Christ, Christos, you know, man, this is the anointed. This is the anointed. So people take, you know, a lot of these women, they say, oh, I love, what they love is they love what they think is blessings, but really is mercy being shown upon them. You know, they love the prosperity of it. They like what benefits them, but they don't like the sacrifice and obedience that comes with righteousness. That's what you got to understand about these Christian women. And I encourage women, you know, that are truly set apart, fear the Most High Yah, and keep the commandments, followers of Yahshua, quit claiming that title. Quit claiming that title of being a Christian. You know, man, no, you're a set apart follower of Yahshua, a woman that fears the Most High Yah and keeps the commandments. Quit pooling yourself with these lawless, reprobate, delusional women. Man, the book says, for those that do not receive a love of the truth, the Most High is gonna send them a strong delusion. Delusional. And you think you're gonna give somebody good advice on marriage, relationships, about anything righteous, and you sitting up here with your moose knuckle out. Remember Ricky Smiley had that thing, that comedy show, McDonald's sign, upside down. She sit up here with her moose knuckle out. You know, candy yams out, breastises out. And you wondering why you for the streets. You wonder why men that have understanding is constantly roasting you, because you a Pharisee. You a hypocrite. You double-minded. Man, when you are looking at a woman, you know, men, you need to verify the way a woman takes pictures. You know, takes a selfie. That's going to show you all she has to offer, and it's going to showcase to you, you know, does she have virtue, or is she going to fall on the side of sexually manipulative? You got to think about it, man. You can go to women. I guarantee you go to these women, devout Christians, churchgoers, a lot of these women that is attending these church, been in there for years, and you look at the way they take photos, there ain't nothing modest, there ain't nothing meek, there ain't nothing kept, there ain't nothing righteous about it. Every photo, they want to accentuate that booty, that breast, they want to do something sexually provocative. They're wearing something that a woman of righteousness does not disclose to the world, but is a best kept secret for her husband in righteousness. Nope. Man, I don't give a dang how many Bible scriptures she got. I don't give a dang if she got a Bible app on her phone. Man, the word is not soaking in. It hasn't taken root. It's fallen on bad soil. It hadn't taken root in her life. Man, you go to her, you go to her Facebook, because women nowadays, they're not giving out numbers. You follow me on Instagram, follow me on, you looking, you like, man, what am I watching? Men, you need to pay attention to this, because a lot of men will say, oh man, she told me a Christian, but you don't test the spirit in her. You gotta test the spirit in her, because it may not be from the Most High Yahweh. Man, here's another one for you. Man, a lot of these women that have went baptism, man, they got submerged under a religion or a denomination that doesn't operate under the divine Ruach of the Most High. So they went down already having wicked spirits and came up loaded with even more. And this is the reason why some of these women rebel so hard against the word. Let me tell you something, man. The best thing you can do, and this would save men a lot of time wasted, a lot of resources, and a lot of money. Man, when you first encounter a woman, you know, I'm gonna put this clip in here of this brother by the name of goes by Gerald. He does these little comedy pranks, you know, but I'm gonna put one of his best pranks in here, because this is how, when a man is married to a woman and you think this woman is a believer, you think she's a follower of Yeshua. She didn't say, I'm a follower, I'm a Christian, I grew up in the church. But when you get to the foundation of her function and how she's supposed to operate, she's gonna reject it.
On my first dates, I always bring a Bible. I gotta read the scriptures to every potential wife. Wives, submit to your own husband as to the Lord. For the husband is head of the wife.
Wow, why are you reading it like that?
As also Christ is the head of the church. If Christ is the head of the church, the church worships Christ. So I am the head of you.
Of me?
Yes. I'm your husband. So you worship me like the church.
Man, every man out there, single, you know, even if you're married, your woman might be going to church, clapping for the entertainment, putting the makeup on, adorning her face to deceive her mind, all of this stuff before the Most High. David said, I hate every false way. Man, you need to read and get her comprehension of, you know, Hamashiach is the head of man. The Most High Yahweh is the head of Hamashiach. Man is the head of woman. Anything dealing with obedience, wives must submit yourselves to your husbands. You know, the older women are to teach the younger women how to love their husband and be obedient or submit. You need to read, you pick 2 or 3 of them and get her comprehension of what does that mean to you. I guarantee you that's not what they're looking for. What they're looking for is you to be a daggum fool, sign some paperwork, hit yourself to them, and them take you through this wicked family court system, hypocritical as it is, that says, in God we trust. But really, man, they operate just as the Romans and the Greeks did. That's how they operate. Men, you better wake up, man, because I'm telling you, it's some snakes out here. And here's the thing, a lot of them men will see as sexy, and then you're gonna realize the hissing and the venom that's been in your life, been infected in your life later on. They're gonna inject you. And once that venom sets root and takes hold of you, that's gonna be the death of you. That's gonna be the death of you. You know, furthermore, if she says she's obedient and submissive, put her ass to the test. Put her to the test. It's like, women understand, these wicked women understand obedience. If you ask them, what does it mean to be an obedient? How should a child obey? They can explain it. What does it mean to be obedient in the workplace? They can explain it, but somehow, educated and retarded as they are, when it gets to obedience and submission in a relationship, in marriage, I'm just so confused. I just don't understand it. They confused about righteousness because they're operating in a spirit of dysfunction 24/7. Men, I'm talking a lot of these Christian women, man, are chameleons, man. They're chameleons. And whatever it means is, man, they can create a fictitious version of themselves that seems like they're on the same spiritual level of you, but soon as you tie yourself to them, soon as they get the ring, soon as they tie the paperwork, it's all over. It's all over. And then, man, you're gonna be like, man, what happened? Where did I go wrong? Man, you didn't discern her. A lot of men marry these women without testing their obedience. And you find out, what good is a woman who calls herself a Christian but believes she don't have to obey and submit to her husband? She's trash. Put her in the dumpster, right next to the dumpster juice. It smells like mud butt. I tell you, she's wickeder than a pot of pig booty linings, chitlins. She's no good. Men, avoid her at all costs. Avoid her at all costs. Man, women out there, listen to me. Man, there's a difference between a woman who deceives herself into think she's keeping the commandments. But when you ask these women, man, what commandments do you keep? And she don't have no idea, she ain't striving to keep no commandments. Men, better keep your way far away from her. King Lemuel had one of the coldest mothers biblically, because she warned him about the wickedness of women. Do not give your strength to women which destroy kings. And you got to think, men still, just because she says she's a Proverbs 31, she's got to meet that criteria. Man, if a woman got a problem with cooking and cleaning for you, she ain't no Proverbs 31. It's simple. She's probably a Proverbs 5, Proverbs 7. Man, you better keep your way far away from her, because she's setting up a snare. And this is why a lot of men, have growing pains and painful experiences and encounters with women, because you didn't fail for these women who called themselves a Christian. The book says only a remnant will be saved. They that say they love me and do not keep my commandments is a liar. A lot of these women are flat out liars. They're going to tell you, oh, I'll make a good wife. You should pick me. I'm educated and all that. Her education, her success ain't got nothing to do with a woman of virtue. They're not even parallel. They don't even intersect. It ain't the same. Men, leave these birds alone. Listen to me. Take my advice. Leave these birds alone. When you see virtue, that's when you're like, let me truly, because virtue is an example of what others can follow after. A woman of virtue is going to raise righteous daughters. She's going to raise, she's going to help you raise sons as you raise young boys into men. She understands the assignment. Tell you, don't hit yourself to no woman in the likeness of, and I want you to understand, you marry a woman like Dr. Brian. In her mind, she think, man, what I wore is okay. And imagine you try to check her on that. I'm educated and I'm success and ain't nobody I'm telling you, nope, you don't want to be dealing with that problem. Straight up, harlot-like thought behavior. You do not want to hit yourself to a woman in the likeness of that. I'm telling you, man, it will be the death of you. And if it ain't the death of you, it's going to be damn near a near-death experience. Once again, this is the Set Apart Man, kicking that thing gun barrel straight. Until next time, stay set apart, stay disciplined, and stay in the word of the Most High Yahweh.